Okay. I had a little technical difficulty. Okay, so welcome to Let's Talk That Talk. I know it has been a long time since we have been here. My partner has something to do tonight, so my actual podcast partner, Coco, has something to do tonight. But we will be back next week with our regular schedule, new day, new time. It'll be Tuesdays going forward. But tonight, I have a very special treat. We are going to talk about something that is taboo, shall I
Yeah,
say.
it's the
Um, we're going to address um, being married and not being able to live your truth and reasons why we wasn't able to or felt like we wasn't able to. I have a very special guest. I met him at Reformation. I fell in love with him from the first hug. Stephen, would you like to introduce yourself?
hey, it's such an honor to be here with you right now. So thank you. Yeah, absolutely. Fell in love with you guys since Reformation, but we've been connected before Reformation, through the Larry Reed Live, uh, being part of that whole family, being at LRL, and yeah, just 44 years old. I have five beautiful kids, five grandkids. Uh, was married for 26 years, almost 27, and I love how our lives just came together.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Enjoying the journey. I'm
And
really
enjoying the journey.
really living.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm trying to make sure that we are broadcasting on both. So hopefully we will be.
Okay.
Um, so I'm gonna go ahead and get started so we don't have to be on all night. So my first part is, why do we feel that we have to hide our sexuality when we decide we want it's not live? Okay. Give me 1 second. I don't know why it's not showing on.
You got this.
Yeah, it's showing here, but it's not showing on my live on my Facebook. And we had that problem before. I don't know why
But
it
we've
does
been
that.
connected before Reformation.
Yeah, it's showing here, but it's not showing on my live on Okay. my Facebook. And we had that problem before. I don't know why. Babe, can you work on that part for me? And I send if I give you my phone?
Reformation.
Huh? Yeah, please. Because I don't know why it's not. Okay. Yeah, I don't know why it's doing that. I do. It's up top of my it says Facebook and my Let's Talk That Talk is up top of there. If not, I know we live on YouTube. Okay. So we're gonna keep going while Joy try to figure out why it's not showing us live on Facebook, which is crazy because StreamYard has been doing that lately and it's not showing on what we need it to be shown on. Okay, so anyway, um being able going through hiding our sexuality and still being in heterosexual marriages. Um I know for me, I had some trauma I had to get through with my mom.
Okay.
My mom was very open. She was bisexual pretty much my whole life. I knew this. She kept, she didn't hide anything really from us like that. Well, from me. And being the oldest, of course, you see more because the parent is growing while they're raising you. And I had a really hard, um, I had a really, I'm not gonna say bad because I'm learning that it really wasn't that bad. I didn't want to be like her when I was younger.
Yeah.
And being like her meant that, like for me as a kid and as a teenager and having all this resentment for her, being like her meant that I was going to be the worst person in the world. So even though I knew at a young age that I was attracted to girls, like I remember my first crush in high school. It was a girl named Michelle and then this girl named Lynette. And I would not make a move because I felt like if I did, then that is me saying I'm okay to be like my mom. And at that time,
Wow. Okay.
I was not okay with it. So even so, I decided, well, life, you are taught to get married, have kids, get a house th- to the opposite sex, and this is what you're
Right.
supposed to do, right? And
Right.
then even with church, here you go, babe.
Mm.
Even with church, um, that was what you were taught as well. What's your take on that?
I think that's a lot. That's pretty powerful. I wasn't ready for you to tell me about your mom. I figured you were like a strict back apostolic, black Kojic type church,
Uh,
background because that's that's beautiful. That background type is beautiful. But that makes sense though what you're saying. Yeah, that's pretty powerful.
yeah, it was definitely that was the only reason because
Yeah,
my grandmother, she taught us to love. Um, she taught us to love. She taught us to, as long as we weren't hurting anybody, she didn't
right,
care.
right.
And that's how she raised
Wow,
all of us.
huge blessing.
Yeah, I'm telling you, we didn't have. If you were sneaking around doing anything, it was because you wanted to. It's
Did
not because you had to. I mean,
it
we
was
wasn't judgmental. Oh shoot.
I know why you have to.
Okay, go
Do
ahead.
you want to put yourself on pause? Real
Yes,
quick?
1 second.
yeah, no, you're good.
You got to go to your Facebook. You got to remove yourself. Remove, no, remove.
Okay.
You got to go in and reconfigure all the way. But if you go back into it now, it should let you do it to your friends only. Go ahead and restart it. But after this, you're going to have to go all the way through and redo it. But you should be
Okay.
able to switch it to your friends.
That's so crazy. Why is it so hard now?
Making everybody do it.
Is it showing up now?
Keep going.
Okay. Um, so how was it with you growing up?
So several things that you just spoke about, very similar in my growing up as well. Um, as far as me, I remember in kindergarten, I've always been this person that has been flamboyant, has always been, um, you know, sugar in my tank, if you will. I've heard that being, before I even knew what it was, as an innocent child.
Yeah.
Um, that's why my take on me is this is who I am. This is who I was created to be. This is part of my identity. This is part
Mhm.
of my makeup, my DNA, my genes. But I couldn't understand that until recently. It wasn't until the last 5 years of my life that I started saying, you know what? I'm not a sin. I'm not this or I'm not that. I know who I am, but why am I allowing everyone else to identify who I am or tell me who I am? Kindergarten, I remember my mother. I grew up on a native reservation in Oklahoma, and my mother took us to the little school, but we weren't going to a native school, my kindergarten, because we didn't have one. So we were able to go into the county school. And I remember going over there, and I met this young friend of mine, this little kid, who we are still best friends to this day. But when I met him, I remember feeling so in love with him. Like,
Mhm.
that's who I'm gonna marry. That's gonna be my husband. And
Right.
I remember going through that all until second grade, and my teacher was like, no, we were, it's Valentine's, second grade, and I was making my Valentine's card out. And I went home, and my family talked to me and was like, what are you doing? You can't do this. This is not right. And I
Mhm.
remember feeling just confused or ashamed when I started realizing. And then from that time forward, it was pretty much downward
Yeah.
of trying to find out who I was, of knowing that. And then I got uh, filled with the Holy Ghost at a young age,
Mhm.
at 11 years old, in a Kojic church, right there in the little rural town of Oklahoma. And when I did, that was a whole nother experience, a whole nother lifestyle. So it went on from there. But yeah, I totally understand what you're saying.
Yeah, and let me tell you, so for okay, what made me want to talk about this conversation even more, it is a show. Dr. Reed did the like after show talk
Yeah.
the other day, and a pastor on it. I do not know these pastors, so I'm not going to be able to say a name. But one of the pastors that was on the show made a comment of pretty much that same sex loving people can
Mhm.
be a part of his church. He just will never ordain them.
Right.
And when I tell you, it plucked a nerve
Mhm.
where my heart started racing while I was listening to him talk.
Yep.
I was offended as if he could say or do or change who I am in this very, very moment.
I love the.
And I had to sit with it because I mean, I'm like, when I tell you I was pissed, I was pissed. And I'm not talking like the piss when people be like, on social media or online is that, talk. I was pissed. And I had to sit with it, like, why is that triggering me? Because I don't have those kind of triggers. Like, it is what it is and whatever. And I sat with it and I remembered, and I'm not bashing the church I came from.
No.
The that was I still see him as my spiritual father. I was under him for 17 years. I absolutely love him. And he absolutely loved me. Um, but I remember going there. I had an affair while I was there. While being married, of course. I went through 2 divorces in the same church. Um, actually 2 affairs. 2 divorces. I was an armor bearer. I was an usher. I was on the choir. I was on the dance team. I was in a deliverance class where you helping to cast spirits off of people. Um, and all these things is while I've had these 2 affairs, my 2 divorces, and I remember the day I decided that now me and him, we've had conversations, and he told me he didn't want that for me, right? He didn't want me to go into the LGBT lifestyle.
Right. Right.
And because of how much I loved him, like I still call him dad, right? So it paused everything because I'm like, I don't want to go against what he's saying because I never went against really what he was saying. If he told me something and I had to battle with it, I did. But I respected him enough. So his words carry weight. And I remember going to my dance team and I said, okay, so I love dancing. Um, praise dance or liturgical dance was my way of worshiping with God to a point I haven't had since then. Right. It was my it was almost like if when I dance, it was like a portal I would go through and I could literally feel myself dancing before
Free.
God. And like it was heavy, right?
Yeah.
And I can still do it in my car, but it doesn't give me that same feeling.
Okay.
So anyway, I went to them and I wanted to know, hey, this is what my life is about to be. I'm about to be who I know I was supposed to be, and I don't want to hurt anymore. This. Is it
Oh.
going to be a problem? And I was
Yeah.
told, not by him, I was told by a member of the team, no, it won't be a problem. I went to a lupus walk with the organization that I'm a part of, which is Alpha Pi Delta Sorority Incorporated. I went to a lupus walk. I was an interest for this organization. I was going through the support and all that stuff. So I went to a lupus walk. And the next thing I know, I was set down because I was at a LGBT function.
Mm-mm.
And the other day when the man said, you could be a member, but you can't be ordained. Now, granted, I was an armor bearer. He didn't mind ordaining, that's not the case, but it still triggered the fact that I did all these other things. I do not remember being sat down, and I could have been, but I do not remember being sat down for the 2 affairs. I do not remember being sat down for going through 2 divorces because, that's, whatever, frowned upon. I didn't get sat down for all that. I got sat down because I went to an event that was an LGBT event.
Mm.
What?
Girl.
What? Like, I mean, 2 open affairs. Like, open, Stephen, open affairs. I did not
So
hide anything.
on the affairs, man, were they same gender affairs?
No.
There's the
So
key. There's the key.
no, no, it was not. So the
Now,
first, the
I know,
first, affair- go
with a
ahead.
lesbian or another female in the church, you would have been kicked out.
I would have been mad, even madder, right? Now the second time it was with my now wife.
Okay.
Um, but the
Dr.
first one, the
Joy,
first one, huh?
I said, Dr. Joy, shout out to her.
Right.
I
Now
love
the
my.
first one, no, the first one was a man that was in the church.
Hmm.
Um, and yeah, it was frowned upon, and whispering and all that stuff, but it was not a big deal to the point of I'm being set down from something that I asked. Is this going to be a problem? Because I don't like setting my expectations and being disappointed because I didn't handle disappointments well then.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So that was he triggered me the other day to the point I had to sit with myself to figure
I
out why.
so when I very similar things here. This is why our spirits are so connected because we share some of the same. This is so funny, and I've not even spoke on this. Matter of fact, even today, I tried to go and watch it. The clip that you're talking about with Dr. Reed when he sat with the preachers and and even the young female, she started off. Well, I don't think the church knows how to stay with them and love them and finish it till the end. And I thought, finish it till the end of what? To the end of what? Until we say, oh, now I'll conform whom I am to and repent. I want to share this real quick.
Go ahead.
My ex-wife Jessica and I,
Mhm.
we are still, people can't understand why we're friends. They don't understand why she and I can still be together and raise our kids together and love the way we do because she's my human, she's my person.
Yeah.
We got married at 18 years old, and when I shared with her, I'm getting off the little story bit just to kind of give you
No,
a
you
back.
go with it. Go with it.
But when I was 18, I even before then I was her gay best friend. But I'm in an apostolic church. We've now went to a United Pentecostal church. So
Mhm.
now I'm from Kojic, where they'll let things slide. Kojic will.
Okay.
UPCI will not. It's a white. It's now multiple, racial
Yeah.
denomination. It's not. It's majority white folk, and it's old apostolic. They broke off from the PAW years ago. The Black Apostolic group. It's a oneness church, and I'm not knocking them.
Right.
I'm like my kids are all UPCI. My wife's UPCI, or ex-wife is, and I still go to support my family occasionally to our UPCI church where my family's at,
Yeah.
and that church there is unique because they love me. They don't try to change me. They allow me to be who I am. Now,
Yeah.
they never allow me behind the pulpit or in anywhere. I can't pray with people, uh, even when the Holy Ghost is moving. And I'm still a worshiper. I've been called to be a worshiper. I'm a praiser.
Mhm.
I'm full of the Holy Ghost. I bear forth the fruit,
Right.
and so, and that's why people are like, you know, going back to what she said in the church, for years, I lived in mental torment and pain and always going and people were, trying to set me free or trying to deliver me. And I
Mhm.
remember one day sitting in a car and I cried out to the Lord. I said, God, I don't understand. Like, I love you with everything. You are my God. You are my creator. You're my all in all.
Mhm.
Hallelujah. I feel the Holy Ghost right now.
Yeah.
He is my all in all. And as much as I knew God at that time, in the last year coming into Larry Reed Live and Reformation and meeting you, God has expanded
Yeah.
my understanding of who my master is, my King of Kings has been beyond, you know,
Mhm.
he is my God. He is my
And
all in
you are God. We're in the
all.
image of him. You are God.
Yes, and sis, that's where it hit me. He the son of set free is free indeed, and the reason why I am not getting that deliverance because I am not a sin, I am not afflicted, I am not oppressed. The
Mhm.
church has tried to oppress me,
Mhm.
not meaning to. A lot of them didn't mean to. They're only doing what they know to do. And I think this is why this conversation is so important, is not just helping other people out there that's struggling and had struggled like you and I have, but also living with the guilt from the church of feeling like, God, I love you so much. I don't want to lose you. I don't want to lose my standing if I'm authentic to who I think that you created me to be.
Right.
And people are like, well, it's just sexuality. Then if it's just sexuality, then why the hell, excuse my language, is it so hard for everyone? Why do you guys want to cast us down to the point that they would rather see, and it's sad, they would rather sometimes see someone
Mhm.
out of the church, if they
Mhm.
identify that, than ever just say, you know what, this is this person's journey, this is their identity, that's who they are. Let's not bring them into the fold, and let's just let God use them,
Mhm.
right? And
Mhm.
so when the preacher's wife or the minister, whoever the young lady was, because I tried to watch it twice and I
Yeah.
couldn't, because it was, I had to sit with it like you're talking about,
Yeah.
because they're like, oh no, we'll let them in, we won't let them do anything, we won't let them partake, and we need to sit with them till they can get full deliverance. I had to turn it off, and but Dr. Reed did say right then, well, even that's problematic.
It
But then,
is.
yeah, it's so problematic. But I still am not in that place yet where I could just, I had to sit with it and be like, why did it trigger me? Because that's not my worth.
Right. But I really feel like it's the fact that you're openly saying you're willing to use us.
Mm-hmm.
You'll take our money. You'll have us direct the choir on the choir. You'll have us being your armor bearers and making sure we taking care of your undergarments and ironing your clothes and all of this stuff. But if it comes to being in the pulpit, it's a no. Or the fact that the guys compared it to a pedophile. What? What are we talking about? That is apples and tomatoes. What are we talking about?
My
There's
God.
no comparison. You cannot put that in the same comparison. That
Mm-mm.
pissed me off. When I tell you, it was
Yes.
so many moments, and it was like
Mm-hmm.
I hope and pray whoever was watching your show that is a member of your church that may be a part of the LGBT community would,
Mm.
because we have power, just like racists have. We have power.
Yeah.
The LGBT community has power. And if just like we going through the whole thing with the president and all that stuff, and we did the boycotts and all that, and made changes and all, it is the same thing when
Come
it
on.
comes to churches that
Yeah.
want you to come, because almost every choir director is a part of the family. Okay,
Yes.
almost every tenor is a part of the family. The
Oh.
money that goes into that basket that's rainbow dusted, as we gonna say, right? It's a part of the family. Do
Yeah.
not use us if you're not going to love us. But then that is where we are at fault, because why are we somewhere we're not welcome for real?
Come on. There it is.
I can't be a part. I can't. And I
Mm.
remember the day I had to make a decision. I had slowed down going into the building, and I sat with myself. I prayed and everything. And I was like, I don't want to do this anymore, because I want to be able to get further along. And I don't feel like I'm going to be able to do that here. I felt like he gave me what I needed, all the tools, the
Yeah.
love, the fathering. But now I need a little bit more, because I
Yeah.
need to be able to feel completely free, not
Yeah.
halfway, not side talks. Now, I have sisters that do not agree with my lifestyle. But
Mm-hmm.
when I tell you, the only reason I know is because I know their stance with their believing with God and all that. That is the only reason. We text each other and say, I love you. I'm
Yeah.
invited to stuff, they're invited to stuff. When we're around, is no conversation of what's wrong, what's not wrong. We love on each other. That is it. That is all. And we keep it moving. That
I
is
love.
it. And I love that. But I
How do
need
you,
it more.
absolutely, and I think that, and I even was asked, why do you continue
Mhm.
to want to show up where your kids are, other than your kids? It's because the church that I go to occasionally with the fam, there's about 12 to 1500 people on Sunday.
Mhm.
So I don't know what the statistics are, how many straight to gay ratio.
Right.
I don't statistic anymore, but I know what I was made to feel.
Yeah.
I know the trauma that I went through
Mhm.
of just being myself. And I know that if I could have had some kind of representation somewhere, if I could have seen someone that was still loving God and still being okay and still functioning and still living for the Lord, it would have changed I probably could have got to along a little faster. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? Could
Yeah.
probably kept a little bit of pain to the side I didn't have to experience.
Mhm.
That's why I show up. That's why I have no problems when the Holy Ghost falls on me to worship in tongues, to pray in tongues. That's why
Yeah.
I have no problem doing shouting and dancing and worshiping. Even though that's all outward and
Mhm.
that's that, but I still do, and I still show up the way I am. I still present who I am.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, I found myself so freeing that it doesn't bother me. And last Sunday, uh, my oldest daughter Isabella was going to be part of the worship team, and she's an amazing worshiper. She's got God has blessed her and anointed her with the voice, and I can't wait for one day for you to share that with you. But I was there to support her and to I'm a daddy,
Yeah.
so I show up for my kids and my
Yeah.
family. So we were there, and I literally had this elderly couple who I always, I'm very respectful of my elders. They both grabbed me and was like, we need to get you baptized. We need to get you full of the Holy Ghost. And I literally had just been in the service and the worship with them. But because I've got these fabulous nails that I always keep done, they saw my nails. And they came to me, and they didn't say anything until they shook my hand. And the mother, she saw my hand, and she looked down, and she pulled it up to her, and she was like, hmm. And they went after me the whole service. And I was just like, I wanted to leave so bad.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
There's two. It's okay. So I totally get it. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm not planning for my mom to leave this earth, but I told my wife, when her pastor, he's cool, and that's where she is feeling good with and she's comfortable at. But the day that I had to make her arrangements, he can't preach her nothing. One, a eulogy is to be talked about her goodness and all this stuff. So you're not going to take the opportunity, one, to bring members in your church. But even with that, you can't, because the moment that you preach on, who is in the pew?
Mm-hmm.
The sweet smile, a hint that I can do would no longer exist, because
Yeah.
I will not. I went to her church for Mother's Day, and the whole sermon was about needing a husband, where a woman's supposed to be, pretty much like women should take care of themselves because there's competition. It was too much. And I knew in
Woo!
that moment
That's like
he could not. He
you're
could
like
not. When her time do come, and I'm still here, you can come and say she was a great member,
yeah,
and no matter if she had pennies or dollars, she did her part, but you will not be able to do anything.
girl.
It's just too much. But okay, I want to, we have so much to unpack.
I
Um
This is a lot. This is a lot. We haven't even touched the surface.
at all. My
This
other
is
thing was, we
so
talked
fun.
about you talked about having ex-wife and y'all having kids together.
Yeah.
And we talked about it a little bit offline before we got on, and I was telling you how my second ex-husband is the one that I feel I probably hurt the most,
Mm,
because he's my best friend, right?
yeah.
Like before anything, he's my best friend. And I was able to be at a level of honesty with him that I at before that never thought was possible. It probably was, but I just never thought it was possible. And um having the affair with Joy, it wasn't right off, of course. We were friends and all that stuff, but we did cross the line while I was still married. Um, if I could go back, and I said that on my podcast before, if I could go back, I would have loved to change that narrative,
Okay.
because um me not being true to myself, in return, I was not true to him.
And when we're not true to ourselves, and
Mm,
we're in a place of pain, or we're in a place of trauma, if you will. Because when you can't be true to yourself and you can't identify, and that's trauma.
yeah,
So you make the decisions that you've made based out of a place of trauma, not of a place of healing, not of a place of where you can make the right decisions. So I just want to give you that. Go ahead.
yeah, and but for me, I really, really, really don't like hurting anybody
Uh,
unless I am provoked.
Right,
Like,
right.
you have to do something to someone I love,
Yes.
or I say I'm rocking with, and I know they're rocking with me, because then it's all bets off. But when it comes to
Right.
me, I will give you enough room and enough rope until I can't take it anymore. So
Absolutely.
to even know, like, now, granted, I still consider him one of my best friends.
Mm.
It's a journey, of course,
Yeah.
because this did happen on me and his watch, but now him and Joy are like two peas in a pod.
Love it.
she gets better gifts than I do. And I'm saying
Ah,
that before. She gets better gifts than I do. Our daughter, me and Joy's daughter, Abigail, is now him and his wife's daughter. They treat
okay.
her as if she was a part of our
I love.
time. You
Yeah,
cannot tell the difference outside of she's not spending as much time there, but she has been there. She's welcome Christmas gift, birthday's gift. She celebrated just like she came with me,
yeah,
but when I met him, right? Um, but hiding in it when we're hiding in it, I feel like our partners that don't fully know or may know but don't really know how deep it is inside of us are blindsided.
yeah.
Oh, hold on. Joy wants to be added to the stage. Let me add
Oh,
her.
yes, Dr. Joy.
Yes, wife. Would you like to add in? She must not have her thing on. I'm sure she'll say something when she's ready.
No,
But
I wasn't adding the come on the screen. I was trying to
oh,
put in the group that you not going to be able to see your Facebook messages.
yeah, I
So
know.
you're going to have
I
to look
see
on
it.
your phone to see
That's
them.
what I'm
But
doing now. I have
hey, Stephen, I love you.
Love you too, Dr. Joy.
it. Bye.
This is so funny.
um, but what I was ready to say, she made me lose my train of thought.
No, you're talking about your ex, Dr. Joy, your
Oh yeah,
daughter,
well, being I feel like they are blindsided, and
blindsided. Yeah,
yeah, and I feel like because of it, it's a whole nother trauma. Like I don't want that karma back, and
I
I know the seeds you plant, you reap, right?
absolutely.
I don't want that back
But you know, and
because
I get that, but I also believe that when we do things with pure motives, and I know that you're, and I'm, please, but I don't want to say I'm excusing your affair.
yeah, yeah,
That's your thing. That's your, I'm never one to sit there and look. I'm just not that human. It's
right,
not in me. But one of the things that I learned from one of my best friends in the world is, Stephen, only good comes from you. Only good comes to you because of that. And it's that reaping and sowing. But I said, well, I've done some shitty things, not
right,
intentionally, out of trauma based, and I'm not trying to excuse it, but there's some things that I would have made a different. And he was like, but don't you know that all sees that and knows that it comes from a place of purity, and you're doing what you do sometimes, you know, but with the purest intentions. So reap it, baby. Reap what you sown. You look at this beautiful marriage that you have with Dr. Joy,
yeah. But we,
and
but
not only but not only that, but look, he's now married to another woman. They have
yes,
a beautiful child. There are some
yes,
positive fruits that come from that decision. Do you
yeah,
hear that?
I
We
do,
cannot ever see it
and I'm
sometimes.
telling you, I love it. I love where we are now. But
Yes.
because of and I'm not going to I don't want to blame anything, but because I did not have my own voice, my own thoughts, my
Mm.
own decision making, because in my
Yeah.
ear, all I hear is everybody around me. You're supposed to be a mom, you're supposed to have the kids, you're supposed to do this, you're supposed to I remember when I first got married, my mother-in-law, which I love her, and she was old school, and she told me, "You can't be hanging around no single friends." And I cut all my friends off.
Woo!
Oh my! When I tell you, it was the worst
Yeah.
because these are people that I have been friends with since 14, and they were
Yeah.
single and I wasn't, and that means we can't really hang out and this. And I'm telling you, I had everybody's voice in my head except for my own.
Yeah.
So with that means the voices that was in my head from everybody telling me what I should do, shouldn't do, could do, would do, or supposed to do caused me to hurt a lot of, not a lot. I'm gonna say it hurt like three major people. My wife, of course, because I had to transition into, I knew I wanted to be with her. I knew that she was my one, right? I knew that she was my best friend, and we could do anything we wanted to do together. But it was that well, you ain't supposed to. I even had someone tell me, well, your son not gonna deal with you being gay. I mean,
Ugh,
from church. That's what they told me. Yep, this baby right here not gonna deal with you being gay. What? He loves my wife, and he has a
some of
great
the
life.
most ignorant people. Where do they? I just. Ugh.
It was horrible. I mean, I tell you the things that was said, or and again, it's a part of that church control. And when I
Yeah.
broke from it, oh yeah, I
Mm.
lost friends. Um,
I wanted to share with you, if
good.
possible,
Mhm.
when, I remember being married about 20 years. And 20 years, you're set into your marriage. And
Mhm.
I've always been authentic. I never stepped out of my marriage. I knew who I was, but I dedicated myself to her. And I remember going to Jess, and I remember having some mental health issues. My mental health, I was exhausted.
Yeah.
I couldn't keep up this front anymore. And I was so tired of men in the church coming to me, ministers,
Yeah.
evangelists, prophets, deacons, saying, can tell that, oh, this boy, he's fruity. He's married, but he's fruity. So I bet I can get my frills off with him on the side and keep it down. He's married, I'm married. It's great.
Mhm.
And I never been around a lot of men. Just that's not who, maybe that's from
Yeah.
trauma or what. Maybe it's just because of my own insecurities. Um, and so when men would come to me and say, "Hey, bro, you want to go fishing? You want to go hang out? You want to go do this?" I'm like, "Yeah, I have no guy friends. This is great. Let me go do this. I want to go
Yeah.
do this with you." And then get along with them. And they're like, "Hey, if you let it, if you do such and such, it doesn't mean you're gay. No one has to know." And I remember thinking, man, you are an amazing pastor. You're an
Mhm.
amazing evangelist. And yet I've heard you preach from the pulpit so many times what an abomination people like me are. But I'm trying to hide, not really
Mhm.
hide, but I'm trying to, hey, I got a
Blend
marriage.
in. Blend in.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
Raise my family, do my thing, pay my
Mhm.
taxes.
And
But
be
it got
miserable.
exactly, exactly.
Mhm.
And it got to the point where I was just like, dude, I'm married. If you ever say this to me again, I'm gonna go straight to your wife and tell her.
Yeah.
And they're like, whoa, 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 whoa. I didn't know you were like this. Well, yeah, I didn't know you were like that either. I'm authentic. Like I want to be who I am. I have to have that.
Yeah.
And so it started getting where, wait a minute, all these men in the church are coming to me, wanting to get their rocks off with me behind closed doors.
Mhm.
So I started thinking, wait a minute, no, I'm not doing this. And my mental health began to get fatigued. And I just started, because I couldn't be who, and I went to her and I said, hey, can you love me enough to let me go? I remember saying that to her. It was our 20th anniversary. And she's like, what do you mean let you go? And one day I'd love for her to talk about it. But I said to her, I said, babe, I was like, I will never leave you. I love you. We will always be a family. I
Yeah.
was like, but can you love me enough?
Mhm.
I have given everything I can to you. And I just want to be able to be authentic. Can you please? I can't survive much longer. I don't think I can survive.
Yeah.
And she looked at me and she said, I can't. I can't. And I won't. Fast forward a few years later, about our 23rd anniversary, bring it up again. Hey, please, I
Yeah.
need this. I need this. Please, please. My kids, my teenagers are mid teens now. I'm about to have kids going off to college in the next few years. They need to see me being as authentic. And I knew even at the 20-year stage that I started having to be as authentic as I could. And I started raising my kids in the sense that of saying things to them like, teaching them the word of God, the way
Mhm.
that I believe, the way that I see it, the way that I've, taken it where, homosexuality wasn't introduced into the word until so many years later. And so,
Right.
and talking about that, teaching that to my kids and really letting them know as though you're on an apostolic pew, I don't want you to have that mean church spirit of viewpoints. I want you to see people as human and as beautiful, complex individuals, and I want you to love them no matter how they present. And so I thank God that I've been able to do that with them. But about my 23rd year, I was like, no, I'm going to be authentic. I'm going to be myself. And she said to me, she said, just be you. Matter of
Mhm.
fact, go find you a boyfriend. Go find you someone. Do it on the side, away from the home. No one needs to know. I want our marriage like it is, and
Mhm.
let's just stay like this. Joy, I mean,
It's
sorry,
okay.
babe. I started thinking for a second, I can do this. This will work. This is the best thing. She's like, it's like a lavender marriage. Let's just do it. I was
Yeah.
like, this is the best, but I am authentic. I have to be. It's
Yeah,
my
it's
freedom.
important.
Yes.
It is important. And what's so crazy, all week, all last week, because I was gonna do it last week, but we had a lot going on and we weren't home. But I watched 911 with Angela Bassett. And I
Yes.
watched that show 1,000 times from beginning to end. And what episode was on was when she found out that her husband was gay.
Mm-hmm.
And she said, well, when she asked him the same thing, let's just keep our marriage. And if you can sustain, then we should be fine. And I'm like, why does this keep coming up? Why is this like everywhere I go, somebody is talking about pretty much trying to make people be something they're not because we're in these vows and you don't want to get out of it, or you're afraid, or whatever the case may be. And I remember her saying that, and I'm like, no,
Mm-mm.
because then you want me to continue to lie and be unhappy. And I don't think people really understand. And I feel like it's a selfish thing too, because I don't feel like they really understand that when you're not able to live your true life,
Yeah.
your true identity, your true authentic self, it is a mental battle that you battle. And I know for me, I was diagnosed during my first marriage with depression and bipolar. And my go-to was sex.
Yeah.
That was my go-to. I didn't have the
Yeah.
overspending. I didn't have the crazy. If I had a bad day or I had a bad moment, then that's what I'm going for, which is how it pretty much got me in a lot of the situations I got into. But it was also because I felt like something was missing and I always was looking and looking. And I
To feel,
remember, say it again.
yeah. To
Yeah,
feel that void. Missing it.
yes.
Yeah.
And I remember my second ex-husband, his name, let's say Ice, okay? I remember Ice asking me one day, way after everything, I was we weren't together anymore. I do think me and Joy was, I think, either ready to see how we can progress. But he asked me, he was like, what is it you looking for? And I got
Mm.
mad because I was like, what do you mean? And he was like, because you're always looking for something. You are always on a search for something. What is it that you're looking for? And I'm sitting
Mm.
there like, I'm not looking for nothing. I was looking for the freedom and being able to, it had to be before because I had to still be married to him because that's when he asked. But it was like, damn, I really am always looking. I really was always looking because I always felt like something was missing, that
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't loving myself because I wasn't being true to myself. I
No.
knew what I desired. And here I am, continue to get married, have kids, because that's what you're supposed to do.
Exactly. And you're
Yeah,
trying to fulfill that void. Even with building your marriage, you think that if I can have the two kids, the dog and the house and the husband, if I can have these things, because it's not attainable to me if I want to stay in the church, to
yeah,
to be able to do this outside. And that's why it's so important for you and Dr. Joy to be the people that you are, to
yeah,
show that, especially with the way the political move is going and everything's going against every right. But
mhm,
it needs people need to see that stable, loving, married couples that love each other, the same sex, affirming gender marriage, how that you can still serve God and you can find healing through all the trauma. Because it'd be like me looking at it, and this is the way I've done it with the law of the church family that I care about, the people
yeah,
that are in my close circle, that truly are like, and first of all, when they act like they're shocked, I'm like,
mhm,
girl, if I walk like a cow, I chew grass like a freaking cow, I fucking moo. Why are
mhm.
you shocked? This is where it just kills me. I'm just like,
There's no
anyway,
way.
yeah. So, people are like, did you come out to your mom? I'm like, come out? Like, I don't get that. I've never had a coming out party. I've always been myself. And it's
Right.
just,
You sound like
but
Joy. I
anyway.
just
Yeah, yeah, it cracks me up. It's like, I know church folk aren't this naive. Come
well, they
on.
do be. I don't even think that they're naive. I don't believe they want to acknowledge it because then you have to address it, and then the way you
Woo!
address it is going to be offensive, or you're
Right.
going to lose money and a member.
And mind you, you know, we're tithers, we're givers, we're
Mhm.
first partakers in ministry. So
It
if there's
is.
things in church, if there's things, I don't know how many pastors' houses we've cleaned and done behind the scenes for the church, and it was for the Lord. So I'm not complaining about it by any means, and I would
Right.
do it, still be active in the church and the ministry. But we were those people, like most gay couples or most gay people that are married to the same sex. You'll find them throughout the church. They're the choir work, the choir leaders and all this. And so the amount of money that we would give too,
Mhm.
because we're, first of all, gay folks are just fabulous in everything we
We
do. We
are.
do.
In everything. It
I
is
don't.
planned.
And when you're in a exactly, and when you're in a relationship where you're hurting,
Mhm.
and you know that you're almost feel like you're trapped. I felt like I was trapped for the rest of my life, and I kind of was just like had to eat that bullet of saying, okay, this is my destiny. I'll never understand it. I'll never. And then so you overcompensate
Mhm.
sometimes. And I remember, so your spouse said to you, what are you you're always looking for something.
Mhm.
Jess came to me like, you're the worst critic of yourself. You give grace to everyone. You give grace to, I don't care what anyone does. You give grace to everyone. You understand, you love. But when it comes to yourself, Stephen, there is no grace. You're
But I feel like it's because we have been used and
yeah,
programmed so much to give, 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 give,
it is.
overcompensate because we want to be loved. And like for me, I protect everybody. It is my
Yes,
natural instinct. It is what I'm going to do. If we go out with my friends, the only time you're going to see me throwing back drinks is when I'm in my hometown because I know
yeah,
where I am, I know where to go, I know where my family is. But if we are out together, I'm typically the one that might have had one or two. I know where the exit is. I'm watching everybody in the club because if something go down, I'm getting all of us up out of here. Right?
I love.
It's because I didn't have that protection. So now I'm
Yeah,
making sure everybody else is protected. And I'm
right.
making sure everybody else is accepted. And it's everything that I wanted from the church. And even some of the friends I lost and even being used because even like you said about the guys that would try on the back end, you're
Mhm.
literally putting in us that we're only good to be used,
Oh my
seen, and
God.
not heard. You're literally throwing it on us, and then it's a coat, a shirt, a hat, the accessories, and we're now wearing it and have to pull it off. Like I literally for the last past, I want to say 4 or 5 months. Thank God to my therapist. Okay, I have
Right? I
divorced
told therapist.
every I have divorced every title that I've ever heard I'm
Ooh,
supposed to have. I mean,
yes.
everyone. I mean, from wife, I'm
Mm,
still a wife, but the title that the things that
come
come
on.
with the title, the things
Mhm.
that come with the title being a mom, and I am big on telling people I'm Lachey Ann.
Right.
Happen to be married to Joy. I happen to be a mother. I happen to be a lesbian. I
Yeah.
happen, happen. But who I am is Lachey Ann. And it feels great. I don't even
Woo!
say my middle name to anybody. I am. And it feels great to be in this place of being
Yeah,
able to heal myself, go
God.
through everything I need to go through, sit with stuff that doesn't feel okay. And I remember my mentor, we've been friends for almost 23 years, I think, maybe. I remember telling her that I wanted to pursue a relationship with Joy. And she's the only person in my whole entire life that verbally said, I love you. And all this means is I have to love you harder because that world out there is
Mm,
not going to love you. And she has stuck with me from the beginning all the way to this very day. Her love
hallelujah.
has not changed. And I told her today, I said, you know, you're the LGBT house mother. And she's not a part of the LGBT community, but
Oh,
all the children that she, outside of her own daughter, but all the children that she did not birth and that she protected and loved and all this, um, she's the mother. She gave us what we could not get anywhere else. Now, my mom never judged me, but
right.
I still had to work through some things with her. But she
Mhm.
gave me what I needed in that moment to let me know, no matter what, I'm gonna love you harder. And I got
Mm,
you. And she's been that way ever since.
wow.
Yeah.
For a long time, we carry shame and we stay in marriage because we think it's the right thing.
Yep.
It's as if like tradition and religion. But one of the things I'd written down, but I was living a lie that only separated me further from myself.
Yep.
And I need because I believe the church held the keys to my healing. It held it to my salvation. It held it to my self-worth, my wholeness. And it's one day I just chose truth over fear. One day, and it's only been in the last, I only
Yeah.
separated from my marriage in the last 12 months
Yeah.
when I'm with the LRL group and I hear Dr. Reed saying, some of you married your best friend when you should have not married. And I'm
Yeah.
sitting there, and then I meet, I meet the Bassons. I don't know if you know the Bass. What do you, go
Absolutely.
ahead.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
There
Absolutely.
are, there are best friends.
Absolutely.
And
They're
so I'm
great.
sitting here with G, Rashida, and
Hmm.
Jess celebrating Jess's birthday.
Yeah. Because why not?
Right, right. And well, no, we were married. So we're sitting as a
Mhm.
couple date. And I looked over and Rashida and them and we're talking and G and I'm just like, something in me was just like, it's time.
Yeah.
Like it's time. And I remember like not feeling broken anymore when I
Mhm.
started loving myself. And I remember feeling like I don't need a bunch of fixing. All I needed was love. And that love can only come from me.
Absolutely. Because if you can't love yourself, you cannot
Yeah.
love anybody
No,
else. And that is
no.
RuPaul, baby. Okay.
I know. You're speaking mother now. Mother Ruth.
And it's so important to love you
Yes.
regardless of what the world says. Like I still have a problem of waiting for someone to acknowledge who I am, even though I know who I am. That is my journey for the next rest of this year. Because I don't
Yes.
need you to acknowledge the power, the gift, or anything, because I know what it is. I know what I've had. I know what I've used. And I just put it on the shelf because church wasn't safe. Church people wasn't safe. And I don't know if I feel like, getting close and then you do something now, I'm your enemy. I don't want to be anybody's enemy. I don't want to go through the hurt. I don't want to go through you using me for one thing. Now, I'm not, now where I am now, I can honestly say I feel my safest that I
Yeah.
felt in any type of, even though I don't want to say in the experience we have, it's not a church, in the experience we have, because I've met very, very genuine people
Pure.
that don't know nothing about me,
Yeah.
and we're able to click and build and support and love, and they're not asking me for anything. I don't feel like I have to do certain things to be accepted or do certain jump through hoops because I need you to love me. I don't need you to love me. I don't care
My love is not contingent. Their love isn't contingent.
at all.
Mm.
At all.
And your callings are, I always believe that we were taught this, that our callings will make a way for themselves.
Mhm.
God calls us, He'll equip us.
Yeah.
And so, girl, you're fulfilling your calling. You're doing your gifts and
Mhm.
talents that God has blessed you with. You are fulfilling them. And we feel like we have to be connected to a church, or we have to feel like we're connected to a pulpit or a ministry. Uh-uh.
Yeah, at all. At all. When I tell you my biggest growth has been, now granted, it is with under Dr. Larry Reed, but it's
Right.
because I'm able to see, and I told him that in his post yesterday, I think it was yesterday. What drew me to him, now when I first started listening to his part with his show, and I told you, I said, I ain't gonna be able to do it. And he was talking
Uh,
about something. I said, I'm not gonna be able to do it. And
when you talk
then
about King,
he was doing his regular commentary. And I
and
was
you're
like,
like,
I don't know, but I still had that. Well, pastor not supposed to say certain things, right?
right, right,
I was
right.
like, I don't know, Joe. I ain't gonna be able to do it. And then he talked about Cardi B, and I kept on listening, and I kept on listening, and I'm like, okay, okay. He is so transparent. I love the transparency, and I need the honesty. I need you to be able to be who you are openly behind closed doors, no matter what, because I know I can trust you. And I remember something happened. He came straight to the I want to say the Patreon, shared, and I'm like, he didn't even have to do that. Like he
Yeah.
could have kept that to himself. Yeah, I like it here. And that it wasn't who he was. It wasn't the title, because I had never heard about him outside of Joy saying that was her pastor before. So I never watched any of the shows prior to the ones that she started showing me prior to us moving forward with it. So it wasn't because he was on, like, this big person. It wasn't because he was a celebrity. It wasn't because of the money. It was because the transparency. I felt like I can trust him.
That authentic self that he
It
presents.
feels he feels safe, right? And
Yeah.
Shamako, another one. The
Oh,
whole it feels safe and it feels like everybody can be transparent in their own space, outside their space, but you don't have to worry about the like you don't have to worry. You could be yourself. That's it. You could be yourself.
I love it.
And that is what made
So
me sign up for everything is because of his transparency, not nothing else. Oh, and the fact that now once we signed up for Patreon, and I remember us going to our first after Reformation, and we really did not have it. We had enough to get there for that Sunday and to get home. And me and my wife said, and we was like, next year we know we need to be further. This, right? We made the goal. We met it. It was
woo!
watching somebody be able to say what life should be and show that you can do it. Like him saying that he used to live in a trailer, slept on the floor, and now being able to see him live here. So it's not those
Yeah,
pastors that saying, well, hey, do this, do that, but you still robbing Peter to pay Paul. And I know it and I see it.
right,
You're not giving me
right,
what you're telling me to go do. You're not
right,
doing it. Yeah.
right. One of the things with Dr. Reed that I just personally notice is people that are authentic like he is,
Mhm.
and that are they're just honest. They'll read you for filth, but they'll
Mhm.
love you
Mhm.
through it all. They are who they are, and that's
Absolutely.
what I love about that man is that and it doesn't make me uncomfortable
Mhm.
because I am who I am, and
Right.
I and it and and he just causes my mind to stretch or my thinking to think beyond
You have
what
to. Right.
and I just love it. And one of the things I always think about with Dr. Reed, the reason a lot of church folks out there come against him or be like, I remember the first time I let my family listen to him. Uh, I was kind of in the background praying, like, oh God, don't let him say anything crazy. This was their first time. And so we're driving to the church, and my family knows I'm part of this about 3, 4 months in. And he's like, he said it again. Some of y'all married your 18-year-old best friends when you should not have married. You were gay. You should have got, you need a
Yeah.
divorce. And
Yeah.
he was just speaking in tongues. And then he goes in here telling people they need a divorce. And then he starts talking about peens. And I was just like, oh, Jesus. Like, but I love his ministry. I love who he is because there's so much of pureness and
Mhm.
truth and honesty that he is. And he's one of those that, hey, if I say something off that I need to stretch my thinking, he'll be the first one to say, I need to stretch it. I need to expand or I need to grow. And I
Yeah.
love about that
And he's
man.
the very reason we're having the show. The
I
very like
know, right?
I'm very transparent and I love being transparent. One, because I don't want you to be able to try to use nothing against me later in life. When my millions and I'm over here at the Tyler Perry studios and Kevin Hart studios and all these other studios, I don't want you to be able to use nothing against me. So I'm
Right.
very transparent. But what was I already saying? I done lost my train of thought because I done got
Oh,
half of the acting.
sorry.
Oh,
Reason why you're transparent, you don't want to use anything against you. Dr. Reed.
oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I done lost my thought. Oh man. Okay, it'll come back. It'll come back.
Oh, yeah.
It has to come back. 'Cause I know it was about LOL. I don't know. It has to come back. But his transparency gives me
Yeah.
it gives me the I don't want to say I don't want to say hope. It does. It gives hope, and he gives a place for everyone to be able to be their self. He's going to teach. He's going to instruct. He's going to show you how to. He's going to coach. He's going to make you be whatever it is you desire to be, and to
Yeah.
believe in yourself. And everything that he's went through, just to make just for even this year
Yeah.
has been like the reason. Oh, it was the reason we're having a show. That's what it was.
Yes.
He told me in a prophecy that I am to go and talk about this people not living their truth, being married to the opposite sex, but knowing that you're supposed to be with the same sex. That's what you feel. That's what you believe. Here's the very reason we're having this conversation.
Yeah.
That's what I was going to say. I am very, very transparent, and a lot of my friends that watch my podcast prior with my other partner know this. But to be able to really, really dig in it and to be even sharing the things that I went through at my at the church I was at before, because I felt like if I shared it, it was kind of going against it, and it's not because I'm not saying anything
No.
horribly wrong. I'm just saying what the truth is. That's what it was, and that it helped confuse a lot of shit. Okay.
Yeah.
That's what it did. It confused a lot of stuff, and it hindered it. It paused things that could have been further along, but it wasn't the season for it, and I became okay with the season I have now because I wouldn't change. The life I have right now has been a life I have dreamed about, I have prayed about, I have cried about. I've
Mm.
always wanted to be able to travel, and we just spent almost a whole month in Jacksonville, right?
Oh, like,
A whole entire month. We woke up and said, "We're not ready to go home. Let's extend. We're not ready to go home. We're going to extend." To be able to be in that place in life and say, I ain't ready to go home. We're gonna extend the stay again,
yeah,
again, and again. Is what I dreamed of.
yeah,
To have someone to build with that believes just as wild as I believe.
yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely. This is beautiful. I
it
love
is.
this. Thank you for obeying Dr. Reed, obeying what has been implanted in you. Because, yeah, just a year ago, since becoming with Larry Reed and you guys, everybody, I've been able to be free.
Yeah.
And you're giving a platform for that. So thank you. Thank you for that.
Absolutely. And I want you to know if it ever gets tough, you have family that is going to
Absolutely.
cheer you on because I do remember people turning away. I remember people that said they were close, 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 like best friends that would say, we were thick and thieves as long as we were sleeping with dudes. And then
Mm,
as soon as I decide to do something different, it's a fall off. It's if I invite, they don't feel comfortable, as
yeah,
if it's a disease and it's going to jump on them. And it took me a lot to be able to let these people go. So I'm
yeah.
telling you, just in case, because this is that first year,
Hmm.
if you feel heavy or
Yeah.
you feel discouraged or you feel like, this is a lot, you have people to call on that has been through this on both ends, on the end of having to be the person that was hurt and
Yeah.
also being the person that had to decide I'm doing for me. And
Yeah.
I did an ebook and it's called Me First Always.
Oh,
It's
this
me
is
first.
uh,
And that's when I started divorcing my titles. It's me. It's Lachey. I want to be. It's me. It's about me.
Lachey, yeah.
Yeah.
This year for me has been a lot of alone times,
Yeah.
a lot of feeling like I'm hurting a lot of people
Hmm.
to try to be authentic. And I don't want to hurt a soul. And so it's been very much, and as the type of people the type of person I am, I don't want to hurt anyone. Like you said that earlier
Hmm.
about yourself. And I totally, that resonated with me because I hate that my truth is hurting others that I
Yeah.
love. And I can see the hurt that I caused Jess. I see it. I have to live with that.
Yeah.
And the pain. So when she does the things that she does and comes after me the way she does, I look at it and I'm thinking, it's because she's a hurt person, but it's okay. She couldn't set me free. I had to, if I wanted to be free, I had to do it for myself. Does that make
Yeah.
sense?
Yes, it does. And the thing is, when you decide to choose you,
Yeah.
people are going to be hurt because you're going against what they want for you.
Yeah.
It's not about you anymore. It's about me. And if this is what's best for me, then it's best for me. And I'm sorry that I'm not going along with the plan that you want. And that's
Woo.
now,
Yeah.
however, I feel like as time go, because Dante went through the same thing. Me and him used to, I mean, it was text message where 1 minute we're cool, and the next minute I'm being laid out, and then the next minute, like it was bad. But then once he found his healing and he found what was created for him, which is I 100% believe is the wife he has right now. When he's
Yes.
able to find his place where someone could love him for him and they're true to their self already, and now you could be true to yourself and give her everything, stuff starts to work out. And having friends that's not going to badmouth you,
Hmm.
but are going to be able to still be a support to you both. That is so freaking important.
One of the things we just recently went to a couples uh, gathering, and there was like 14 couples, married couples, at this church event we went to, and we're standing there, and everybody was like, the wives would say how long they've been married, what they do for a living. The husband would tell what he did for a living, which I think's just crazy, anyways, that we
Yeah.
identify ourselves with what our occupation is. But
Mhm.
I won't talk about that. And so we're going around the table, and Jess and I are the last.
Yeah.
And this is recently, and Jess and I are in the church don't know that we're in the middle of a divorce, that we've divorced, that we're just sitting there and saw these couples because she wants to continue to have that image. And I'm
Yeah.
setting, because that's her safety net. I understand.
Yeah.
Any friends or her standing in the church. And so I told her, I was like, if we go to this, we got to be authentic. Like, I don't like this. And she's like, no. I said, I'm going to support you. This is the last one I'm going to go to, but I'm going to do it for you. And
Yeah.
she's like, we're sitting there, and they're like, so she and I had been married the longest at the table of all the couples,
Mm-hmm.
and one of the youngest couples there too. And a lot of them had been married, several times and blah blah, which I don't care. But we're
Right.
sitting to it, and it comes to us, and I felt like a lot of this journey I've had to, because I've had to like kind of rip band-aids off, if you
Mm-hmm.
will, because
Mm-hmm.
I want to be free, because
Yeah.
it's not going to give it to me, and because it was like in this sense, and I'm not. It was the sense of me understanding that she doesn't love herself like she needs to in that
Yeah.
space. She's getting there, and
Yeah.
and I feel very much whatever I can do to be that catalyst to help her. And I know a lot of it's not anything I can say or do, but it's just being a quiet support figure of saying, here is some great counseling services, or here's this, whatever you need from me, let me know, and I'm here for you. But these are the boundaries that I have to have. I can do
Yes.
this.
Yes.
Sitting there at that thing, they're like, we have been married almost 27 years, talking about it. And I said, but this was our last year. Our 26 year was our last year. We are not continuing on in our marriage. And everybody was like, what? And Jess said, yeah. She said, my husband, my best friend, he's going to be himself. It's time for him to be his authentic self.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm standing there going, thank you, Jess. Like, I love you even more this moment than I have. Every day I love her more and more, but this day I
Yeah.
love her even greater, because she saw the pain, she saw what I've going through, and for her to go to that level to say, yeah, but this is Stephen's time, and
Yeah.
we're going to Stephen to be Stephen.
Right. And I got Tamara said she will come to Atlanta and give you a hug if you need it.
Oh my God! Of course,
I wish
I
the comments was coming up so you could see them, but they're on the Facebook post. It's a lot of them.
love
But what
that.
I want to say, what you said, with your boundaries, I want you to make sure that your boundaries are in cement,
Ooh, yes.
that nobody can go against your boundaries. And at no time. Now, I talked about me feeling bad because I lied to my ex-husband, right? He knew that I was attracted to women, but I did keep a lot of it from him, right? Well, as
Yeah.
far as like how much I was attracted to them. With you, you gave, I need you to let me go. So you were very, very honest.
Mhm.
So with that, do not let anyone, I don't care who it is, and I love, okay? I don't care who it is. Do not sit
Love
and
that.
allow the projection to
Oh,
damage, because it will. I don't
yeah.
care, because I know hurt people. I believe that. My podcast partner does not believe that. But I do believe that. But it does not mean just because you're pulling this band-aid off and you
Mhm.
know it's hurting them, they don't
Yeah.
have the right to in return hurt you because they're not ready to accept the
Mhm.
truth of who you are.
Yeah.
And just because it's going to tear down whatever they believe. I don't care who it is.
Yeah.
I tell my kids the same thing. If anything becomes too toxic, including your parents, you have the right to cut them off. So I am telling you the same thing. It does not
Yeah.
matter who it is. It's you first, always,
I love that. I take
always,
receive that. Yes.
always.
Powerful.
Yeah.
Powerful.
But
Yeah.
I'm trying. So Joy said they'd be more shocked than the people that are actually getting the right. They do be more shocked. but but I think it's because again, you gotta if you have to acknowledge me in a different light, that's not the light you want me to be in. So I think that's what it is. Why they be so daggone shocked.
And
Um,
the real quick funny thing is
go
for
ahead.
sex, they're just like, they're like, oh, so now he's out. He's out. So we got to talk to this. Like, I've had church family come to me, and family come to me, like, we need to talk about the HIV rates in Atlanta. We need to talk about, and I love that they were, they loved me so much that they wanted
Mhm.
to come talk about a disease that is, they believe, only plagues the gay community. And so I'm sitting there going, I have never been in a relationship except with Jess.
Right.
So I don't have a boyfriend. I'm not out there on some app. I'm not doing anything. So, but it's funny how people immediately go to that place of like, oh, well, he's out, so he's a whole bag. We know that brother is out, having a great time. And even if I am,
Mhm.
what does that have to do with what we're talking? You know what I mean? And so I
Uh-huh.
got tickled about, and not, it's kind of went from tickled to like, you need help, where
They
people,
do.
when they realize, oh, you're being authentic, oh, well, now that means that you're just doing every type of thing in the
And
world.
that's not, because typically when you find your truth, that is
Yeah.
when you're able to calm down everything.
And I
Because
feel
now
like,
you can focus on it.
yes, and I feel like me setting in my places this last year. And Reformation 2025 was the cherry on top. It was like that seal of like, bam, you're in
Yeah.
the right place, you're in the right direction. I have
Mhm,
put you here because I will sustain you. And I
mhm.
felt that I've never worshiped freer in any type of environment than when I did at Reformation,
Yeah.
because I was able to worship the creation, was able to worship the creator in the most purest form. And I've taken that from Reformation and I will continue that on for the rest of my life.
Yeah, if you have to, it's a need. And it was something you said. It's just like the people equating, um, if you're part of the LGBT community, that means you were violated. No, mine had
Right,
nothing to do with
right, right, right.
nothing. It was literally because I didn't want to be my mom, so I had to run and hide and do everything the opposite of, and torture myself even worse.
Yeah.
And or it's because you haven't found the right man. Had several, did not
Ah,
like it. So now what? Like,
yeah.
I ain't gonna say I didn't like it, but it wasn't what I wanted. It was what I wanted then, because I felt like that's what I'm supposed to have. That's what I'm supposed to do.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, but it's always the, like, I always hear men say that's because you ain't had the right man. It ain't got nothing to do with it. It has
My
nothing to do with it. It's my preference. It's what
my
I choose to do.
mother and my sister and people that mean so much to me, they've
Mhm.
come to me and they've said, I prayed for this day. I've prayed for this day, Stephen. And I'm like, damn, I'm 45, almost 45 years old. Why did you come and like help me? Like,
Mhm.
and they're like, because no one can do this for you but you. And I
Yeah.
love that. And they're like, we couldn't tell you that 20 years ago because we couldn't understand it and see it.
Yeah.
But seeing you to the point of wanting to end your life years ago, to the point where you are thriving
Mhm.
more than we've ever. I prayed for you to thrive, and whatever that looked like, whatever that meant. I went from almost 400 pounds. I
Mhm.
mean, it's been a whole journey of this person that I am today.
Yeah. Yeah.
And about loving myself, choosing yourself first always.
Always. Always. And that is a hard thing to do when you're a parent, you're married, you got
Oh,
jobs, you got friends, you got responsibilities.
and
No. It
yeah,
is you first. I remember last night I sat up, I couldn't sleep. I prayed for a few seconds. And then I was like, well, I'm not sleepy. Let me get up and see what's the best time to do this part of my business and this part of business. What's the best days? What's the best times? And I now have a calendar. It's literally just being able to, at that moment, I put me first. I wasn't sleepy. So I'm like, let me go ahead and work on what's mine. And these are my businesses. So let me put my time in. Even though I did a lot of time yesterday, it was like 2:30 in the morning. And I'm up on ChatGPT typing up stuff and making sure I have a calendar so the rest of my month can go smoothly and I don't have to worry about it.
because you're in control of your destiny. You are ordering. Do it, Mama.
Yeah, Lachey Aim. That's
That's
who
right.
it is.
I love. I
I
love.
love, I love you. And
And I.
it is a blessing to absolutely be able to cross paths. And I value and I honor your transparency. It is never easy to be able to be open and outright in front of everybody, because you don't know how, especially when you're new to anything, when you're trying something new for yourself, you don't know how it's going to go. But I am very proud of you for coming on here and
Right.
being open on two platforms that are open to anybody to see. And you have a safe place, you have safe friends. We
Yeah.
absolutely love you. And if you have those moments or days, like I said, where it seems like it's rough, shoot a text.
Oh, you know I
Because you
will.
know that's been through it, you
Yeah.
know?
I appreciate it so
Yeah.
much. Yeah. And I
Yeah.
and I hope that anyone that's listening that ever comes across and ever comes to this platform and sees any or hears anything that you've spoken or I've spoken, I pray that they can find the same community out there that because they're worthy of it. And if
Yeah.
I could ever say to anyone that's ever listening that has an old Pentecostal church apostolic background, that believes either marry, you do right, or you'll burn, because Jesus is coming soon. I heard that today. Boy, I got a message in Messenger.
Man,
Stephen,
he
you
been coming for a long time, okay?
yeah, it's like, Stephen, you better repent. God's coming. I was praying that you would never give up your fight, and look at you. And yet this is a man that had been married 4 different times. So I'm just going, the hypocrisy. But it's the way of they try to say, well, I love you the best way I know. Well, okay, do it from over there. You don't
Yeah,
have to.
yeah.
I know you love me. Then just keep it over there.
Mhm.
But if anyone's ever watched this and can get something from this, I pray that they can find their true self by loving themselves,
Yeah.
because it's the most. And Jess even said, I just don't want you to have your mind turned over to a reprobate mind. And I don't want you to think that you're okay, because this is just the acts of the enemy. And I
Yeah.
know where she's coming from, because it's what she's been indoctrinated all of her life.
Yeah.
And she's like, everything that will be shaken, everything that can be shaken will be shaken, Stephen. And we're in the last days. And I feel like you are fixing to turn over and go into a dark place, and you're gone. Your eternal soul is going to be dim. And I thought, you know what? If it is, it is. And I'm sorry, but I've already went through hell. I've lived through some of the darkest, worst times, and that's hell.
Yeah.
I've
Yeah.
been through hell.
Mhm.
I am now living the best I've ever lived.
As you
So
should.
watch it. It's worth it. It's worth loving yourself, no matter what your journey is,
Mhm.
no matter what.
And there's communities, there are families out here that will 100% support you. We're not trying to, and this is not trying to get anybody to be anything they're not.
No.
The whole objective of this is for you to be who you know you are. And the
Yes.
only person that knows who you are is you and what is inside of you. That is
Glory.
because you could put a mask on. I had one for years. I've had one for months. Depending on where I'm going, I still put one on. But
Mhm.
only person that knows you is you, your body, how you respond. That is you. So be
Mhm.
true to yourself. And if you are in this situation where you are married to the opposite sex, but know that you're dabbling back and forth with same sex or you're craving it, you're stop it,
Yeah.
because you're not only hurting yourself, you're literally damaging the other person, especially if you know and you're not being honest with it.
That's
If
so
you're being
true.
honest with it and you're giving them an option, that's fine because that's your preference. But
That's
if
right.
if you're lying about it, you're literally damaging someone else. I'm very, very thankful that my son's father was able to, and the husband for that, was able to pick up pieces of that I shatter and be able to make their life whatever they decided that they wanted to be, because that would have been on me, because that was my choice to do X, Y, and Z. And everybody has their own thing they got to carry. We get that. But I am thankful to be able to see him thrive in his business. Him and his wife have businesses. Our family is amazing. Our kids are first before anything else outside of us. We first. But you know what I mean? Like we're making sure they're okay. My son does not have to heal from anything from me and his dad. He's never seen us argue anything. He would have if we would have stayed together.
Hmm.
He has not. He cannot tell anyone that he's ever seen me disagree with his father. And I absolutely love that because we decided to do what we needed to do for us. But what did she talk? Oh, shut up, Joy. She's talking about just breaking hearts. When you get a chance, go back in the comments because there are comments in here of people encouraging you.
Oh,
People that said they haven't even met you, and that's one of my best friends. She said, I don't even know him, but I love him and admire his strength. So there is people, strangers that are
love that.
cheering you on because you
Yeah.
are able to be your authentic, loving Stephen.
Yes. Champagne Poppy. And that,
Champagne Poppy. Okay, so we want to thank you guys for joining in. I'm sure this would not be our last conversation because I really enjoy having this FaceTime with Stephen live so y'all could be a part of it. Um,
and this is
so
my first time for doing something like that, as you probably can tell.
I could not. It came
Oh,
so natural. And let me tell you, every podcast I do, I get nervous. Anything I do publicly, I get nervous. It's been that way since I was in a dance team. My heart race and everything leading up to it. I mean, it's crazy. So yeah. But I am again, I am so thankful for you, your transparency, for even sacrificing throughout your busy day to jump on here with me and be able to share and talk about something that we both have lived, are living, and
Yeah,
now being able to walk in the path that was created for us when we were first thought of.
yeah.
And I love you so, so very much.
Love you too. Thank you for this.
Absolutely. All right. So, guys, I will be back with my podcast partner next Tuesday. The time will be on the flyer when I do it this weekend. I'm looking forward to you. The topic is going to be what is on your mind. I have a guest that say he just want to he got a lot of stuff he want to talk about. So it's called What's on Your Mind.
All right.
But join us and then when me and Steven have another topic, because I absolutely love this conversation, we will be back again and we will have our own time and everything. So look out for that. And you guys be blessed and always take care of yourself. You first, always.
Always.
Night.
Good night.